Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. The idea, the term, the phrase that there is no such thing as bad publicity. Any press is good press. Anyone talking about our product is a good thing, right? That term, that idea needs to be nailed into a coffin, buried 6 feet under, covered in concrete, forgotten about, and stopped used. Because just because people are talking about it, whether it's positive or negative, does not necessarily equate to anything positive. Especially, when you're talking about a TV show or movie, you want views just because someone's talking about it. But hey, what the hell do I know? Talking about Ironheart again, because, wow, the show. It's something. We'll be talking about it more this week on my live stream. But anyway, we got an article over here from IGN. Ironheart star addresses pre-release backlash. What about the post-release backlash? Because there's a lot. Terribly written character, poorly paced show. At least they're talking about it, because if they ain't, then I'd be worried. So, not even going to pay attention to what the criticism is about, what the discussion's about. Hamilton star Anthony Ramos has addressed the negative backlash to Marvel's latest Disney Plus series, Ironheart. All the backlash, of course, is because, well, if you don't like the show, you are an obvious racist. There is no other reason. That began online before the series debuted. Now, why on earth would that happen? Maybe, just maybe, it had something to do with the TV spots, the trailers, the teasers, the discussion, or maybe, just maybe, the negative press, the negative discussion, the backlash, is because people knew who this character is, who this character was in the comic books. Did we forget about that? Because heaven forbid, well, you haven't watched the show yet. It's like, well, if the show is anything like the comic book, people are going to have some stuff to say. A belated spinoff, 2.5 years, the show was done. It's not a belated spinoff of Wakanda Forever. Or was it? How long ago was that? Was Wakanda Forever? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Thank you. 2.5 years it's been done. Anyway, focusing on side character, Riri Williams, Ironheart's first 3 episodes launched last week, while its concluding 3 episodes arrive tomorrow at the time of this recording. Oh yeah, that's tomorrow. My head hurts already. Let's make it worse. Before a single episode was released, user reviews had already started criticizing Ironheart because they had TV spots and trailers and discussion about it. And in particular, its focus on a black woman as its lead. Because, heaven forbid, we think of some other reason, some other excuse as to why people might not like the show. Like, Riri Williams she's black in the comics. This isn't a race swap or anything like that. So saying it's a criticism because, oh, there's a black woman in the lead. Why weren't people, oh no, it's because it's a black woman. Okay. So it's not just racist. It's racist, sexist people. Because I believe Sinners is making a whole boatload of money at the box office. Not to mention Black Panther Wakanda Forever wasn't exactly, I guess, review bombed or hated. Neither was the original Black Panther. But we don't like to bring those things up. What about the original Blade that is held up on a pedestal as far as superhero movies and black superheroes? Huh? But we don't want to talk about that, because that goes against the narrative that these chuckle fucks like to push. Goes against, oh, but it's because it's a black woman, because you don't like women. Yeah, are we going to go there too? Stop gaslighting, or stop attempting the gaslighting. Those tactics don't work anymore. But hey, the mainstream media, the so-called lamestream, I guess that wouldn't be so-called lamestream, this actual lamestream, game journos, entertainment journalists out there that don't enjoy any of the things that they do, will only, their only goal is to insult the critics, insult the fans, because they're all wrong. Everything that these AAA industries, these big movie studios put out is 5 stars, 10 out of 10. And if you don't like it, well, it's because you're a bigot, right? Am I following the script good enough for you? Now, Ramos has addressed the online reaction to Ironheart so far. Well, it's bad. I think he may have done a rather good job. You're going to have negativity no matter what. This is true. Can't really avoid it. Ramos told BuzzFeed he's compared the project to his turn in the Transformers franchise in the 2023 movie. Transformers Rise to the Beach was an abomination that made money, unfortunately. Not as much as they wanted to, but oh yeah. I thought I recognized him. I hated that movie. I'm a G1 purist. Nah, G1 purist. No, I'm a G1 fan of Transformers. I absolutely loved it. Transformers 1 was a fantastic rebooting, retelling that the marketing department for that movie destroyed, but that's a time talk for another video. Back to the article. I've been in Transformers and people are talking shit. Well, Transformers Rise of the Beast was bad. Sorry. People didn't like it because it was bad. This one, people talking. Transformers Rise of the Beast used lines and dialogue stolen from much better movies and didn't deserve it. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like it. Like I said, I'm a G1 fan. Let's see. This one, people talking. Everybody's going to say whatever they say. But at the end of the day, we know what we made, and we're proud of what we made. I'm sorry. We're not necessarily the first to do this, but of all the shows, we're definitely different. Putting a female character in front and center, calling her intelligent at all times, making her insufferable, making her unlikable, and then telling the audience that you're supposed to like them? No. You're no different than all the other Disney slop, Marvel garbage. WandaVision, maybe? Anyway. I think that when you're stepping out a little bit like that, you put yourself in a position for people to say whatever they want. Well, it's the internet. People are going to say whatever they want. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. Very good. And at least they're talking about it, because if they ain't, then I'd be worried. This response might be the best response I've seen in quite some time. He talks about what he's been through, what he's experienced, how imperfect the world, I guess the reactions are going to be. You're always going to get negativity, no matter how great something is, no matter how much one person likes it, someone is going to dislike it just as much. He doesn't come across as insulting. Everybody's going to say whatever they want. It's actually the article that makes accusations of, you don't like it because a black woman is in the lead. Thank you, Mr. Ramos, for not going down that road. Read it again just to make sure. Nope. You put yourself in a position for people to say what they want. I like that. So far, so good. Set in Chicago, Ironheart sees Williams building a magic-infused... Wow, you're just going to give that one away. That hasn't been revealed, ladies and gentlemen. IGN, you just spoiled something for the next 3 parts. Like, people are really going to care. Iron Man-style suit of armor building. She stole it from MIT. But we're supposed to like her. She stole it. She also... she also sold her stepdad's car to get money to help build the suit, even though she built it with MIT grant money and then fucked off with the suit. I'm so confused. I don't think the writers could remember what they did from one episode to another. Iron Man-style suit of armor with the help of Ramos's character, a gang leader known as the Hood. Now, never mind, Showstar. Were recently backed by MCU legend because he was paid for, Robert Downey Jr. It was in his contract, who released a video message saying he couldn't be happier because that's what they told him to say. All discussion is good discussion. Doesn't matter what they're saying. Not necessarily. This is a long, old, outdated idea. At least they're talking. I saw someone on Twitter mention that all the discussion in the world, I'm paraphrasing from what I can remember, and it's Swiss cheese anyway. All paraphrasing. All discussion, good or bad, does not turn into views. I understand you want people discussion, you want back and forth and all that stuff, but whenever people aren't watching your show and they're discussing back and forth or making videos like me or some of the far more other popular channels out there that do much better reviews, people are watching those reviews. They're watching those personalities break down the episodes one after another, point by point, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad. That's what people are watching, because the writers in the mainstream industry lack the ability to tell a compelling story, to write a compelling character. They had a chance to make Riri Williams likable, show her actually struggling before going into a life of crime, instead of right out of the gate in the very first episode talking about finding a job at a lab that was big enough, or a business, a place that was large enough that would not notice her stealing items. That is how you tried to endear the viewer to her character. That was your attempt to make her sympathetic. Terrible writing, terrible dialogue. I do not blame any of the actors and actresses in this show. Personally, I think the actress playing Natalie is doing a fantastic job, and I do wonder whether or not they're going to address the fact that Natalie's not real. She's only a projection of Riri Williams' subconscious memory of Natalie in and of herself. But hey, that would require talent from the writers, so I don't see that happening in the next 3 episodes. But as far as at least they're talking about it, no. You need more than that. You need people to watch. You need interesting story, interesting characters, something people can relate to, and you need to stop insulting the legacy characters, the characters people came to enjoy, love. Tony Stark. The only reason he was successful is because he was a billionaire. Well, I'm sure by now you've heard the line many, many, many enough times. I won't repeat it here. Wait till the live stream. I'll do it over and over there, because we're talking about this show again. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm fumbling over my words, so I'm going to end it. Bye-bye. Thank you. Good night.